guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to tell you the story about my disastrous pre-op appointment. And I will be talking about medical stuff, so if you're squeamish, this might not be the best video to watch. So for those of you that don't know, before you have a surgery you have to have a pre-operative physical. You just have to get checked over by a doctor and make sure your body can actually handle having a surgery. So the first part of my appointment went fine. They brought me into the room and they checked all of the stuff they normally check at the doctor, like heart, lungs, blood pressure, all the works. But my doctor also ordered some lab work for me, so I needed to go to the lab and have some blood draws. And that is where everything went wrong. So I went to the lab and they brought me back and I sat down in a little chair. The nurse who was going to draw my blood spent a long time looking at my arms and hands to even find a vein. And now, I have really bad veins. And like every time I have to have blood drawn, it's always a struggle. The nurses always have trouble finding my vein and they have to poke me more than once a lot of the time. So the nurse was having a hard time finding my vein, but she thinks she found one. So she pokes me in my arm and nothing. So then she decided to poke me in the other arm and again, nothing. So then she decided to go get another nurse to see if she would have better luck. And that nurse pokes me in my hand and we got a little bit of blood, but the vein stopped giving blood halfway through. So again, she decides to poke me in the other hand and that didn't work. So then a third nurse comes along and she decides to poke me in the arm again. And again, my vein gave a little bit of blood, but then it stopped. So we decided to do one more poke in the other arm and see if that would give a little bit of blood this time. Spoiler alert, it didn't. And that is when my body started to go into shock, I think. I almost passed out. And like, it wasn't because of the needles. Like, I don't have a thing with needles. I think it was just the fact that they poked my body 6 times at this point and my body was just telling me that it was done. So once I finished recovering from almost passing out, the nurses decided that I should probably be done for the day and that I should come back tomorrow and try again. So when I came back the next day, the nurses were ready. So they had heat packs ready for me because if you heat up the veins, then they are easier to find. And this time they made sure they had water on the ready just in case I felt faint again. So the first nurse pokes me again once in each arm and got nothing. So then she goes and gets another nurse and that nurse decides to try a vein in my hand again. And that vein worked. It was giving blood very slowly, but at least it was working. I think I sat there for a good 20 minutes with the needle in my hand, but at least they finally got all the blood that they needed. And that was why my pre-op appointment was a complete disaster. So if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to follow me on social media, all of my links are in the description below. Well, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.